Yo, what is up, everyone? It's your boy, and today I'm playing this giant graveyard troll deck. It's a 3.0 deck, but with giant in for Xbow and then graveyard in for the one elixir cards, either Ice Spirit or Skeletons, up to you. And yeah, the goal with this deck is really just to make them think you're playing Xbow. I love getting archers in my starting hand. I just split archers because nothing screams 3.0 like splitting archers in the back. And yeah, so I did take out the Skeletons because I did want the Ice Spirit just to hit air. And I don't know, I just kind of like prefer them. Ice Spirit is so solid as a one elixir card. So yeah, as you're gonna see, you do have to manage your cycle a little bit. Just because I kept the Fireball in, because I want to have that ability to spell cycle in the games in case I wasn't gonna finish them off with the Giant Graveyard, which honestly you don't need, guys, because Giant Graveyard is just so potent. So as you can see there, our hand was a bit more awkward, so we do have to defend with like a bit more strange placements. But yeah, we're gonna really try to make it look like we're playing 3.0 and just not going in. And then once we learn what deck they're playing, like for example, this guy has Executioner, we're just gonna go in, try Graveyard when this guy least expects it. I almost want to go into like right now just because I was like, I don't know if I can defend this, and it would be a really good time to go in because he has like no elixir in hand. But I do just go for the defense, and luckily the cycle works out, and we do get back to our knight. So we're gonna take everything out there and kill the Mega Knight in midair. So at this point, I'm really happy because I'm like, I feel like we know his deck. We have not taken any damage, and all we really need to do is just go in Giant Graveyard and take like the whole tower. Um, yeah, guys, Giant Graveyard at the bridge, feeling kind of toxic today. Yeah, I've seen top 200 players on ladder just play Giant Graveyard and then starting hand people at the bridge, regardless of what deck they're playing. If they don't have a good cycle in hand, there's pretty much nothing they can do to defend. It's just 10 elixir at the bridge, and there's no stopping it because Graveyard is just such a broken card. And I feel like the RNG always gets some damage, so that's what makes Graveyard good in my opinion. And I think, yeah, we're just gonna like wait for him to play something. I really want him to play his Executioner, but he hasn't played it yet, so we're just gonna go in and see what he does. The tower's distracted, and then when I see that Mega Knight, super happy because I'm like, how's he gonna stop the Graveyard? He puts the E-Wiz down, not a bad counter. The Zap is definitely good. But our Giant reaches the bridge, and as you can see there, the tower's left at 1,000 health. So at this point, I could probably even spell cycle if I wanted to, but I do think we're going to go in because gotta abuse the Giant Graveyard since you have it in your deck. Why not? Spell cycling is people who have skill, and we don't have any skill, so we're just going to go ahead and like log everything back, and we don't even care about taking any tower damage because we have no skill, and who needs a tower when you have no skill decks? So yeah, just going to stall this out. Probably going to think honestly, just trying to wait till I have 10 elixir, and then just, I'm like, okay, there's the Executioner. He's going to get super distracted by our Knight and our Giant right here. So, yeah, I'm thinking he can't defend this. He's not going to stop the Giant. He's not going to stop the Skeletons. Like, what is he going to do? He zaps, he logs, and it's still not enough. So I'm like, okay, that's Fireball range. Good game to this guy. But, yeah, I mean, sorry, man. You're using Mega Knight. I'm using Giant Graveyard. We're not the same. But, yeah, just going to hop into our next match right here. See what the guy's playing. I see a lot of like Valkyrie Tesla banners, and I think, are they playing Xbow? But then they usually aren't. So here we have split archers, and I'm thinking, okay, if he puts like something heavy in the back, I'm just gonna go try Graveyard opposite lane here for his like second play. He's not playing anything. I could take a log, but I'm just gonna go in because why wouldn't we? Man, I find this so hilarious. This is the most fun I've ever had playing Clash Royale. And yeah, he's gonna put down like 9 elixir, 10 elixir to try and stop that, and we're just gonna get a casual King Tower activation over here. Yeah, he gives us a well played. I don't know if he's being sarcastic because there was no placement involved. I guess you could say graveyard placement. So here we are. We're probably like up elixir, and we're up like 3,000 damage, and the game just started. Very good play for us. We're gonna kite this back. Probably get some damage off him. We bait out a Tesla, which is really good for elixir. And now I'm thinking, I should have logged there. I didn't see log in my hand for some reason, and instead we end up using archers, and we also don't get the tower damage. But either way, we do cycle back to our Giant. I know he just played his Tesla one card ago, so I'm thinking we go Giant at the bridge, but then he goes in, so I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm going to defend first. Good play by him, I guess. But luckily I didn't go Giant in the back. I was considering, instead of logging, going Giant in the back. That would have made this defense pretty hard. But yeah, so we do defend, and here I'm thinking, okay, he's still one card short off Tesla, and we can still go Giant Graveyard. And even if he has Tesla, guys, I mean, Tesla's not that good of a Giant counter. Like, I remember using Tesla, and like this, even though I had Tesla in hand, didn't feel really confident about it. So he keeps trying to go for this stupid monk card, and I don't know what he thinks he's gonna do because it's not gonna take out the giant fast. And I mean, it kind of like I guess stalls it out, which is good, but like the idea should be I don't even know what the idea is, guys. I'm not gonna lie, like I can't. It's undefendable. So, but so I mean, we could keep criticizing him all we want, but there's just nothing he could do. So it doesn't even matter if we take a couple RG shots right here. Either way, it's just that he can't really take down our whole tower when we already melted his whole tower. So yeah, does get a couple shots in right here. And RG is very powerful as a win condition, but not as strong as a giant graveyard, guys. So yeah, we're just gonna keep defending, waiting for the time to run out, and we're just gonna fireball him. Really nice to have fireball in here as well, but maybe it would be better just to put in the skeletons in for the fireball, not run a heavy spell. But like I said, I am very much used to just being able to spell down the building, spell down the Princess Tower when it's at low health. So that's kind of why I kept the fireball in there. And yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much going to make it. That's all there is to it in this match. Yeah, there's just nothing you could do, honestly. I mean, I don't know what is there to do. So I'm just going to fireball him and give him the well played. Or not, because being kind of toxic. There you go with the bring it on emote. I put give him a taste of his own medicine with the monk there. So yeah, we're gonna go in for our next match here, guys. And honestly, I only got one loss with this deck, and ironically, it was a giant graveyard player. So I don't know, guys. Maybe there's some skill involved in using giant graveyard that I just don't have. But yeah, I mean, it was a mirror matchup, so I couldn't just abuse my OP giant graveyard because he had it too. So I guess it came down to skill, and I lost. But no, on the real, guys, I mean, he had arrows, and I literally couldn't defend his giant graveyard because he would just arrow me out. And then he had minions, and I tried fireballing, but then he had minions and goblins, and I was like, okay, this is impossible. So I couldn't get the same damage he could, and he kind of, I'm not going to lie, he also got the surprise factor on me because silly me was trying to figure out what deck he was playing, and my guy just saw archers in the back, and he just like, here you go, I'm playing giant graveyard. Kiss your tower goodbye. So yeah, so we're going to go in for a defensive Tesla here. Kind of trying to defend from this drill. Didn't want to put it all the way to the side though, because I still want to defend both lanes since both of my towers are healthy. So I'm thinking right now he's playing drill. He has his queen, and then he plays that, and I'm thinking, okay, so now he has 4 elixir in hand. Let's see how he defends this. To his credit, he defends white well, perfectly placed cannon right there, and the skeletons, which I can't really do anything about. So he's going to melt down my giant rather quickly. We are going to get some chip on the tower from my graveyard. But if you guys saw there, the ice or the fire spirit he plays got super good RNG. Like took in like 3 shots and then like killed like 4 or 3 skeletons. So a bit of an unlucky start for us, but that's okay, guys, because I do like our matchup here. I do think that graveyard is super potent, and next time when I'm going to have my login cycle, I'm just going to log down the skeletons, and I'm also thinking I can fireball the cannon, because the fireball leaves the cannon with like 2 seconds of health left, and with how early he places it because he's ready, we should be able to fully counter cannon before the giant even like reaches it. So yeah, I definitely like our matchup here. I'm just going to fireball the tower because it is his weak side tower, and yeah, fireballing the queen is usually a good idea just because it's so easy to get log her out afterwards because she only will have like a sliver of health left, and I kind of just like take the risk, you know, and I think she'll die somehow, so I'm gonna just cycle another fireball here, just because I didn't exactly see how I want to take her out. So I'm gonna knight here for the drill. I feel like we have so many drill counters, it's really hard for him to break through with the Tesla and the knight. Drill's kind of falling off, especially because if they have Valkyrie, it's over. So I'm just gonna go giant graveyard here. I get my log back in hand, so I'm ready to log. I'll put the ice spirit down for the 1 elixir skeletons. And then, so I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to fireball this instead. Actually, I choose not to fireball because there's a giant skeleton walking down. We got to defend first. So, obviously, there, we got so much damage just because he probably had like a slightly imperfect hand. And here, I'm thinking I'll take a little bit of damage. I'm not going to waste my log. Just going to go in giant graveyard again. Want the elixir back. We are going into elixir, like overtime, so it's first tower win. So, we're just going to go in. It's always good to apply pressure. And the guy knows there's nothing you could do. And, yeah, I kind of feel very bad for him, but at the same time I don't, just because, I don't know, it's the shamelessness that you have to absorb when you're playing Giant Graveyard. Yeah, and I fully stepped into it, and, yeah, so once again, guys, in the next game, playing Y Clutch with a heart. So he plays minor safe spot, I'm going to predict, of course. and not take any damage. Another queen. I'm always happy to see queen, honestly, just because it can do some damage against the giant. But really what matters is not the giant counters, but the graveyard counters, because giant doesn't have to get to the tower. Giant has to just stall out for like 5 seconds, which is going to do regardless, unless they really like peck it super early. So we don't have our log anymore, so this is kind of scary. We have to Ice Spirit and then go for archers to counter. And then, yeah, the miner is going to do some chip damage, but that's fine, honestly, because, like I said, guys, playing Giant Graveyard, you can take some damage because you have so much offensive potential with this deck. So, yeah, right here, we're kind of forced to go with our Knight because I don't really want to cycle our Tesla if I don't have to. Always keep it in your hand. And, yeah, so it kind of makes us cycle our Tesla. So we're just going to put a deep Tesla down. And, yeah, usually put it down more offensively, but I feel like he doesn't really have any, like, Hog Rat or anything that can break through. So just put down a deep Tesla. Probably thinking about Ice Spiriting this and having a tower take it out because most people don't pop their ability early. Even though in that case he definitely should. I would have gone in for a log, but I do want to save the log for the goblins here. And yeah, we're just going to wait for 10 elixir over here, see if he miners. He does miner, and he miners into a Tesla, so we don't catch, but it's only going to get 3 shots because of the Tesla, so I thought that was an interesting placement by him. So I'm thinking, yes, okay, we finally baited out the cannon because I guess he had a weird cycle. So now he's one, well, I guess he already played 2 cards, but he's still off cannon. So now I know he has cannon, and I know that I'll have to afford a fireball if I go in and he has cannon, if I want my giant to really get any damage. So that was a beneficial part we learned about his deck. I'm going to catch with the Ice Spirit here, but unfortunately we don't have our Knight. So I'm just going to go in here. We have 10 elixir, see how he defends. He says, wow, did not see that coming. He thought we were playing super defensively, so I am going to fireball here immediately because it looks like he's focusing on defending the graveyard, as he should be. So I'm going to fireball so our giant gets a couple shots in. Skeletons are going to whittle down our giant, but just like that, guys, we were in a damage lead already after defending for like 2 straight minutes and just like 1 push. And that's the thing I love about the deck is like it feels like they do everything right, but there's just no way to deny full damage. And right there we get really good timing on our Tesla plus Knight to fully stop the queen. So we're just going to go in all the way. Really bad Ice Spirit on his part. So he tries to block the bridge, but I don't think that's going to work, guys. I am just going to fireball those down so the skeletons start accumulating. And yeah, it doesn't really work. It's not like a baby dragon or a knight where you could block the bridge with the cannon. The giant's just going to maul it down 3 shots. And it gives us another really good log there. And our skeleton chip is really adding up. So we're in a solid damage lead here, guys. I'm going to split archers because I feel like a miner is coming. And he's not back with his elixir, or he just chose not to play miner because he was waiting for the cards to go away. But little did he realize we're getting elixir, and we're going in again because we're cycling so fast. I got my fireball at the ready. And he's not fireballing, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to defend. And I'm going to log here because the giant is at like full health on the tower because he didn't play anything. So just like that, we're kind of going to end the game. And yeah, easy win for us. It does get really tough for them to defend when you start cycling giant graveyards really efficiently onto the tower. A lot of defensive cards for graveyard like poison and goblins have no counter push value, so they either get logged out or the poison just disappears. And really what happens is they just take a little bit of damage, they mitigate most of the damage, and then you go in again because you cycle back with like skeletons and like a log or something. And then, so yeah. So we're going to hop into our last game here, and we'll see what's up. And, okay, so we're going to defend with the Knight. The skeletons behind the Knight are really kind of annoying. We don't have our log and cycle or anything, so he gives us this good fireball over here, though, which we will take, just because our hand is a bit awkward. We're going to Tesla here. For a second, I'm like, I don't know if this hog is going to go, and I'm like, nope, of course it doesn't. For whatever reason, it always does that. It makes it look like it's going to go, and then it doesn't pull. He does use his queen ability, and again, like the Tesla fails me in that spot. Never use that Tesla placement. Worst Tesla placement in the game. Basically because you think it's going to do something, and then it never does something, and even like the hog tricks you, the queen locked on. So we're just going to keep splitting archers. We're down half a tower, but fear not because we're playing giant graveyard. So all hope is never lost until you lost. That's pretty much how it works. So we paid out for whatever reason, paid out the Inferno because he tries to predict our Xbow. Little does he know we're not using Xbow. And he goes in again here. Okay, we're up so much elixir. And we misplaced our Tesla 1 tile too low, but he actually misplaces Earthquake too. So I'm thinking, okay, we got to go in now. He doesn't have his Inferno in hand. And he clearly thinks we're playing Xbow, so yeah, we're just going to go in, see what he does. We're going to log those out as soon as we can just because they do so much damage on the Giant. And, yeah, so our Giant's going to get a ton of damage. He does do a good job defending the graveyard there, but, damn, Giant is just pounding on the tower. Boom, like 4 shots there. Doesn't quite put us back into the damage lead, but we do equalize after a terrible Tesla playing this game. So at this point, I'm going to start putting down good Teslas after this Tesla, of course. I'm going to Ice Spirit to make sure we deny all damage. The Knight kind of crowded the Tesla placement, and I just didn't want to go for it for some reason. And I'm going to Fireball that because that is his strong side tower. We do want to keep up with the damage. It might be a 2-tower game. And guys, the Giant in the pocket play makes Graveyard just as broken as it is even when the King Tower is active. So we're going to go in for a good Tesla placement here. And in case he hits our Tesla with his Earthquake and chooses to not take the tower, we're going to put the Archers on the right lane because they are going to get counter push value with our Giants. Just going to go in with another Graveyard here. He places Inferno on a Giant, but that doesn't really matter because the tower is still going to be distracted for like 5 seconds. And, yeah, we do get another, like, 400 damage there with some really good Skeleton RNG. Going to Fireball also on the Queen. So he gets, like, 0 counter push out of it. And his tower's down at 742. He's going to go in again, but nothing he can really do because we use Tesla. And so we really benefit from that Xbow defense and then profit off that Giant Graveyard. So, honestly, not a bad deck. Honestly, you put Giant Graveyard into any deck. And as long as you can defend, it's a pretty strong deck because it's only 2 cards and it's just an unstoppable offense. I'm looking at that Skeleton RNG. It's not too great, but we do get a little bit of damage. And honestly, guys, that's all we need. I'm going to put Tesla right into the Inferno just to pull the Hog because I want to stall the Hog out. I don't really care about the damage. I'm going to use the Archers for my main DPS onto the Hog. And that's just a play I like to do in Double Elixir because it's all about really stalling the Hog out and letting your support cards hit it rather than the Tesla itself killing it at that point. Tesla's more of a distraction. So, yeah, our Skeletons do get just a few more shots on the tower, and that is going to put the tower into Fireball log range. So I'm just going to Fireball and then cycle back to my log. Going to put down a Tesla, and then just split Archers in the top in case he wants to predict it or something. And I'm just going to log. And, yeah, guys, that's going to make it in for this video. Like if you enjoyed, and definitely try this deck out. Giant Graveyard at the bridge. So much fun to play. No skill. Just use the same placement or just place it anywhere that doesn't activate King Tower, honestly. And, yeah, just watch their tower go up in flames off the Skeletons. And, yeah, that's it for this video. I'm bringing you guys more content soon. So I'll see you guys later.